Great Tuesday. Hello, hello, hello. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It is the start of a new day, new set of opportunities, new set of greatness, new set of goals completed, new set of joy, happiness, peace, all of those things. Breathe it in. Enjoy today. You see today. Welcome to today. Okay, so I'm up. I'm usually starting my day about 3, 4. And, I just, I'll get up. I do my meditation time. I do, some things around the house before I actually dive into work. And, just kind of that's my time to really kind of think and process things or whatever the case before the world wakes up. I really enjoy that early morning time. And then, my mind goes, I'm a very wise beyond my years woman. Okay. And I appreciate the way my mind processes. I appreciate the way I think, because it forces me to go beyond myself in my understanding. So I'm scrolling through Facebook, and you know how you have invites, people invite you to like their page, their business pages. I've done it several times myself. I have multiple business pages here as well. And so I'll go through and, I'll, accept or decline depending on what, resonates with me or what I support or, have a commonality for, whatever the case. Okay. So I came across one that had the name Dame in it. Dame, something Dame or something Dames. And so, I'm a business coach, so that's part of what I do. So when I hear names, one of the things that I tell my mentees when it comes down to business is make sure that the name that you select for your business correlates with your business, so that when people see your business name, they know exactly off the rip what you do, okay, and what you specialize in. So when I saw the name something Dames, I was like, okay, really the only thing related to the word Dame that I know of is Great Dane, like the dog, Great Dane. And so I was like, okay, let me really find out what this is. I was like, because that's a very interesting name for a business. And again, me being the stickler that I am for business and business setup and things like that, I needed to find out, what Dames meant and if it correlated with our business. Don't ask me why I needed to know. I just needed to know. That's my thing. I'm conditioned to see certain points and elements and details. So I wanted to know. And so I asked Siri. I said, what is the definition of the word Dame? And so it said that, it is in English time or British times, it is in comparison to being knighted. Okay. For a woman, it's the feminine comparison to being knighted. Okay. I never knew that. I was like, okay. And then the other one is another term for a woman. Okay. Which I kind of knew, but I wasn't quite sure, which hence getting the definition. But prior to me asking Siri that, right, in my mind, I literally said, I was like, they don't know. I said, people come up with the strangest name. Now this, I'm just, processing this in my own head. And I said, people come up with the strangest stuff. They don't know what they talking about. Have no idea what the word mean and this and then the third. I was like, she probably didn't even know what that. Okay, so this is me going on and on in my head. And I stopped myself. Dead in the tracks. You know why? Because it takes a sense of awareness and truth and just honesty with self to check self when self slips, right? And I am not too proud to say that, all right? Because we all are a work in progress, right? I stopped myself. And I said, that is one of the highest forms of arrogance that I have ever experienced, even when the experience is from me. I said, how arrogant of you, talking to myself. I said, how arrogant of you is it to assume that just because you didn't know what the word dame meant, they didn't know what the word dame meant. I said, that is like one of the highest forms of arrogance that I've ever experienced. And then what happened was and so I repented to myself, okay, for doing that, because, like that was not cool. Okay. And I've experienced this before where other people would assume that I didn't know what I was doing because they didn't know what I was doing. They had no understanding. Okay. So getting back to the story, I then took that type of thinking across the board. And I'm like, that's why a lot of the civil rights situations occurred, is because white people assumed that black people weren't supposed to have, weren't supposed to know, weren't supposed to experience, weren't supposed to, be able to withstand. We weren't supposed to come together, rise up. We weren't supposed to. So that's why they ask questions like, where did you get this car from? And how did you come across this money? And, who do you think you are? And you're not supposed to have this and that and the third. But what they are not understanding, say for instance, if a white man, if a police officer, let me say this, let me make it more real. If a police officer was to pull over a middle-aged, maybe 40, maybe 45, 50-year-old black male, and ask him to step out of the car, and he does a search and pulls out a wad of money, the police officer's question would be, where did you get this kind of money from? And would assume that he wasn't entitled and was not supposed to have that kind of money. Okay? That man could be running a Fortune 500 company. He probably misplaced his money bag for the money drop and deposit. So he had to hurry up and put it in his pocket so he can run to the bank, deposit it, and get it out of his hands. He don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But the automatic assumption that someone does not know how to do something, don't know what to do, are not supposed to have, or whatever the case, that is a high level arrogance that is just very, very dangerous. So what you're not saying is that, okay, so really what you're not saying is that I've never had that much money before in my life, therefore you shouldn't. Okay? I didn't know what the word dame meant, therefore she shouldn't have. Right? And so what you're doing is really showing what's in your wallet. You're displaying, you're projecting onto someone else what you don't know how to do. You're projecting onto someone else what you couldn't do. You're projecting onto someone else what you don't have. When you try to knock them down and their dream down, or the accomplishment down, how often have you thought, said, or even heard or been around somebody that said, are you sure you can afford that? I don't know. You probably shouldn't be in this house. Why you want that car? That car probably, would be a little too much for you. Are you sure you should be doing this and that and the third? If I was you, I wouldn't. And so forth and so on. They're not speaking about your abilities, because see, They see your dream as being too big for you. But they have no idea the inner workings of that dream development within you. They don't know whether you have trained, whether you took a class, whether you read ample books and got understanding, whether you had a coach, mentor. They don't know whether you have done anything, got a certification, a permit, whatever the case, as it pertains to that dream coming true. All they know is they don't think that you should, could, would, have, did, whatever. The reason is because they don't think they can do or should have. They're seeing you through their own insecurities, their own mishaps, their own failures in life, their own. Be mindful of those people. Be careful of being around those people. I say it all the time. You must fiercely and savagely protect yourself. And yourself entails every bit of you, your dreams, your goals, your love, your heart, your mind, your experiences. Don't go sharing all of you out to everybody, because trust and believe, we've heard it before, but we gotta know it. Everybody is not rooting for you. Everyone in your car is not going to the same destination. The arrogance of someone to assume that you are not supposed to have. The arrogance of someone to assume that you can't do something. They're simply only saying, I can't do it. Therefore, you can't do it. Oh, the arrogance. Be mindful of those kind of people, because they will eat away at your very soul. They will eat away at your very essence. They will eat away at your creativity, at your brilliant mind. They will eat away at you. You got to protect yourself with a vengeance. Protect every single element about you, because you can. You will. You are. You shall. You did. You would. All of those things. You should. Please. Go on and do it. Go on and do it so you can go back to that individual that said that you shouldn't, and let them know that it can be done. And then be available to walk them through it so that they can have their own. That way they can stop, drilling people or denying other people their opportunity. Show them that they can have it as well. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I love you, I mean it. There's absolutely positively nothing you can do about it. Don't you even try it. Have a phenomenal day.